urbanization, civilization, cities, deserts, all artificial, all climate change based, all manufacturing. Look into these desert dwellers. So remember, sub means below the desert. Sub is below, desert is Arab for dry. When you look to the dry climates and the expansion of the dry climate, it's expanding based on agriculture. So when you look into the Niger Congo, that's river to river. Then you got the Nilo Saharans, that's river to desert. And then now you're coming from the Bible. And the Cushite is connecting himself to you. And when you look into your agriculture, it starts with Kenya and South Sudan. See what I'm saying? Sahara is a wilderness. It's a desert. See what I'm saying? It's wilderness. They're coming from that's the wilderness. You coming from a natural environment as a creatures of habitat. Your habitat is a jungle. That's humidity and rain, forests, games, water, not dryness, no frost, no sand, no snow. The word sub-Saharan combines the Latin prefix sub, meaning below or next to, with the word Saharan, referring to the Saharan desert. The term emerged in the late 19th, early 20th century to describe the African region south of the Sahara Desert, desert. While it can be seen as a neutral geographical descriptor, it is also a loaded term with colonial connotations, used by some as a euphemism for Black Africa and to imply racial or cultural divides between North and Sub-Saharan. Remember, the black people, when you look at the term black people are Sub-Saharan. When you look at the term white people are indigenous to North Africa as well as Europe and Middle East and shit. You got to know the bars. The desert game is the milk drinking, milk and meat, agriculture. Agriculture fucked up and caused the desert. You see what I'm saying? They call that poor land management. So you go from land to sand. When you look at all the curses and anything dealing with nature, you go from land to sand. Sand is not a flex. A dry climate is not a flex. Fertility is at its highest, and this biodiversity is at its highest in the fucking rainforest. The rainforest produces oxygen. It's called the oxygen. It's called the lungs of the planet. Congo is called the lungs of the planet. The desert is a barren wasteland. Let's run a gauntlet. When you go to the Niger Congo situation, you go into etymology. You go to the Merriman's Webster dictionary. You get river to river. That's water to water. You get water to desert. So we got Niger River, Congo River. You got Nile River. Then you got the damn desert. So you are desert. You are a desert dweller. Hence, you participate in the desert making and the desert expansion as a nomadic milk drinker. Neolithic. All that is Mesopotamia. The farming game, the plant science game, the milk drinking game, the civilization, the writing is Mesopotamia. Your body is ectomorph. That's a skinny body genetic expression. It's genetics. You are marathon runners. That means slow twitch muscle. That's genetics. Huh? So we're talking about your genetic expression, which is reflected in your performance, which is reflected in your appearance. Come on, man. Y'all play too much. Y'all doing it backwards. You reading the DNA and looking at the person when you can look at the person which was a reflection of the DNA. A lion can raise a cheetah, but a cheetah would never be built like a lion. No matter if they eat the same thing and walk around at the same time. It's genetics. So remember, we're below the desert. They are part of the desert. They are the desert. So when you look into these Bibles and Qurans, they're desert wandering and desert dwelling and desert children. A desert is a barren land. A barren land is an infertile land. Infertility is not a flex. Look at the desert dwellers that they mention as the oldest or anything of relevance. Khoisan, desert. Kushite, desert. Nubian, desert. Egypt, desert. Aztec, desert. Abrahamic situation, desert. Indo-European, desert. You can't come up with nothing that ain't got nothing to do with a fucking desert. And remember, this is for educational purposes. This may ruffle some feathers, flip some teepees. Look at the Native American feathers, birdery. The Fulanis, feathers, birdery. They went feathers down there in South Africa. In South Africa, they're playing the traditional cultural game with the wig on, with modern wigs. Let's run a gun. So remember, we broke down the skin types. A Nilotic is a skin type 6. A Niger Congo is a skin type 5. Remember, we got goddamn vegetation, so you don't get immediate sun exposure. But that ain't got nothing to do with why they that dark, because they're born that dark. But in a desert, there are no trees, hence you have no type of cover. You have no cover. So that's how they was breaking down the skin game, skin tone. Basically, the difference between us and them is they don't got no cover at all. They're not covered. They're not insured. But they would be the black. We would be the brown. They would be the 6. We would be the 5. EU melanin. So remember, black and brown applies to us. Not no goddamn cave dweller. Aztecs, Olmecs, Mayans, Hispanics, those are Indo-European. They come from caves. They needed to cut it with this indigenous to being outside the cave bullshit. That's what everybody's playing. This I'm indigenous to outside of the cave with cave DNA. With Neanderthalic, Neanderthal, Denisovan DNA. You know you're not a Neanderthal if you don't have Neanderthalic features. As long as you got wide nose, woolly hair, and pronouncus, your ass ain't out them caves. Remember, the wide nose is for the oxygen. The rainforest produce oxygen. You know, the absorption game is dealing in the humidity. So in our natural environment, we don't need lotion and grease, cosmetics, cosmos. They take us off Earth, you know. All that external fuckery off Earth, Sky Daddy, astrology, stars, spaceship nonsense. Come back to Earth. Come back to Earth. Again, when we get to the skull types, the skull type is Congoid. You see what I'm saying? So, like, that's why they got to change the names around, because it exposed people. That's why they can't use terms no more. You got the Caucasian skull, your asses ain't from Africa. Congoid skull puts you in Congo. You see what I'm saying? So you wouldn't be from the Nile or from nothing. That's this Niger Congo. That's Congo's the whole Niger Congo's the West. You got to understand what's going on. So this is what exposes them. That skin type 6, drinking milk, ectomorph, and you connected to the Kushite. The Kushite is claiming you as their mom or dad, the mom. You see what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? This Congoid skull type is producing a Caucasoid skull type. It's cap. Shit's cap. And remember this for educational purposes. This may ruffle some feathers and shake up some caves. The King Jarir is in your ear.